Terraria Calamity Mod recently just released a new mini update, and the update added these new awesome weapons. Let's first start with Atlas Munition Beacon. It is a summoner sentry weapon that is dropped by the Exomex, specifically Thanatos, the annoying mecha worm, which means it is an endgame weapon. When you use it, it drops down a huge chest crate from the sky and deploys itself into a stationary turret sentry. But here's the twist. You can pick the turret up and go full Doomguy mode, destroying and obliterating enemies in your path. But beware, as it can go into an overdrive mode if used for too long, and you are forced to drop it because it's as hot as a freshly baked bread. You can also drop this weapon manually or put it back at the station if you got bored of it. It is a fun weapon, but at this stage of the game where every weapon is basically overpowered, I feel like it's a tad bit underpowered. You still very much need your summoner minions to deal damage to enemies. You can't just entirely go on a rampage with only this gun as a summoner, proven by how I'm dealing very little damage for an endgame weapon to Providence. But this might be actually a good and balanced thing, as maybe the devs intended to make this weapon function similarly like whips, but can also be used as a stationary sentry, basically a 2-in-1 combo deal. It performs well against Supreme Calamitas as a secondary weapon. You very much still need your summoner minions though, so there is not much way to prove how good this weapon is, as the endgame content right now is pretty much only Boss Rush and Jared the Eidolon Wyrm. But for sure, this weapon is very fucking cool and based. Now, next weapon, the Warlok's Moon Fist. Weirdly, not a melee but a summoner weapon, despite being a huge fist. With how it's crafted, it seems to be a post-poltergeist weapon and is meant to be used against Devourer of Gods. Because let's just pretend the old boomer duke doesn't exist. Now, unlike certain Terraria content creators that showcases the weapon by using the most overpowered gear, and then proceed to use the weapon against weak bosses, says it's overpowered and call it a day, I decided to be fair and use the correct setup. As you can see, with the on-tier setup, you can only summon 3 of these wiggly hands, as each of these hands uses 4 minion slots. And with the correct setup against Devourer of Gods, surprise surprise, it did well. For a weapon that restricts its user as it takes a lot of minion slots, with that I mean 4, this weapon surprisingly deals nice damage. I finished Devourer phase 1 quite easily and quickly, granted with a sliver of health remaining, because I'm really good at dodging. And phase 2 isn't much of a problem either, as I devoured the Devourer of Gods quite quickly. It is safe to say that these big juicy scrumptious hands of mine destroyed the Destroyer of Gods. Yep, very legit without God mode. Source?
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
God, I love fisting my enemies with this huge fist. Next weapon, the Anomaly's Nanogun. You can left click it to charge up 5 rapid fire plasma beams. And it also has a right click function to launch fission bombs that recoils you backward. It obviously do very well against multiple targets due to the infinite piercing the beam has. Which means this gun is very good to use in events like Pumpkin Moon or Frost Moon. I love using this gun to obliterate multiple waves of enemies. It is very fun. The only annoying part is you have to charge the gun with Drydown power cells, which feels like a time gate feature you typically get in your mobile games like Clash of Clans, which is very stupid in my opinion. This gun appears to be post Devourer of Gods as it uses Cosmic Light Bars and Ascendant Spirit Essence, so it's a weapon intended to be used against Yaron the Jungle Dragon. Now the question is it good against Yaron? I'd say yes, but only if you can aim. This weapon isn't a rapid fire fast weapon, so it is quite hard to aim at Yaron as he is stupidly fast. I'd say this weapon functions a bit like sniper rifle, and reminds me a lot of Rubico Prime, which also performs very well against Yaron but only if you can aim. For me, it is very hard to stay focused on aiming Yaron while dodging all of his stupid bullet hell attacks. Bro, I fucking hate this stupid dragon so much. And the last but not least weapon, the Puff Shroom. It is a pre-hard mode summoner weapon dropped by the Krabulon boss. It summons these jumpy mini shrooms. Very cute. The update also adds stuff like the Monolith of the Accursed that changes your sky to become red and look cool. And Roombas. Roombas that can spread biome in your world. They look so cute and adorable while dancing. This mini update also rewards a lot of weapons. I like them, especially the Heavenly Gale, but that's a story for the next video.